Hi everybody, welcome back to my crafty desk. My name is Sandra and welcome to everybody that's new. Thanks for joining in. I hope you are going to enjoy this little video here. We are going to make some sacks. So I love the size of a sack. So it measures, let's see, 5 inches across. For the opening, it measures just under 7 inches, and then with the total it measures just under 7.5 inches. So I did make one as a little practice one here, and mine came up a little bit shy on my measuring, which is fine. I'm gonna try to get one that matches this size, but we may end up with something more like this. But if you're okay with that, then just hang out and we will craft away here. So before I do cut anything or measure, I do want to show you one of the things I liked about making my own bag was, among being able to have a variety of different types, is I'm able to fold that top over. So I've mentioned before in other videos that how they're so thin, which I love. I love that they're thin because it doesn't take up a lot of space in the journals when I'm using them in there, and I can fold them around and do things. But it's so thin that it tears easy. So I just wanted some stability, and so I was able to fold that in. So that's just one little tip that we're going to talk about there. So one of the things, what I did is I did grab this time some a couple of different papers that have a print on it. And if I measure and cut straight from the edge, I'm going to lose the part that I want if there's something else that I want. So like, for instance, on this one, I have to decide, what do I want on there? Do I want this pretty empty space so that I have something like to play with the bag? Or what? So what I've done is I know that across my bag is 5 inches, meaning the back's going to be 5 inches, so that's 10 inches. But it also has a little 1/2 inch or so overlap. So that tells me right there that I need to measure at least 10.5 inches. That is what I did here, and that worked out pretty darn good. And then I just got my length a little bit not so great. So if I know I want my 5 inches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to measure where my 5 inches is for my front. Where on my paper do I want it? And it's not going to matter to me that I'm going to have leftover sides because I have scraps no matter what. So I'm going to not worry about that. And I want to say, where's my 5 inches on my bag? Do I want both, I'm going to have that flower with the butterfly. Do I necessarily want 2 butterflies on there? No, I think 1 butterfly with a flower and a part of a butterfly would be fine. And I like that. And I like having that empty space here. So this would be the top, right? So if this measures, my top measures, did I say 7.5? So I know I'm going to fold it under on the bottom a little bit. So where's this going to leave me here? It's going to leave me right in here. So that means the top of my bag is going to be all green. Do I like that better? Or do I like this top part better? See where this lacy already comes down on the bottom, and then I have this down here. Kinda, sort of like that. Maybe we'll try that, and it's going to go all the way across though, right? So if it comes down, I have 2 tape measures. I have 2 rulers. Oh my gosh, I do know the difference. And so I'm going to do this really quick. I think I'm going to go here. This is my 5 inches. If I did it this way, I'm going to lay this on top because I know this measures 1 inch this way. So I can just take every number here and just add a number. So does that make sense? Or do I take it away a number? So I have, no, that'd be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because I still need that space there. Never mind. I'm going to leave it the same. So that'll be my 7.5, a little bit more, and then I have that little piece I can cut off. So that'll be my bag. I think I like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and mark my, I guess from the top here, I would mark my 8 inches. I'm not a very good measurer. Can you tell? I'm already like, don't even know what I'm doing here. I think I'm just going to wing it. I know I want it right here. So I know this is my 5 inch mark right here, and this is my 5 inch right here. That's going to be my 5, that's going to be my front. And it's going to go off this a little bit, and that's fine. That's fine, because this is practice. So, I can't even see that. And then I know from here, I know I need that 8 inches, right? So, or 7.5. So see, I did need to add, that's what it was. Okay. So the last one I did it at 7.5 inches tall. I want to go to the 8 inches to give myself that extra room. So we're going to do that. And then, did I not do that wide enough, did I? Okay, it's going to be right in there somewhere. And then if I want this to be absolutely perfect, I think I'm just going to use my paper cutter to get that line straight. I think that's my best bet. So let's see, we are going to, so I'm going to use that bottom line first and just cut this off. I might be wasting extra paper doing it this way, but I already set myself up for a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to get that cut off. Now I know I have my 8 inches, I think. Do I? Do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a little tiny bit more. Okay, that'll work. Now I know I have those other lines, but I cut them off, didn't I? This one I didn't. So I can actually just go ahead and cut. No, I don't want to cut that off though. Hello, who am I? I need it to be across. I need it to be at least 10.5 inches. So, and I want that to be the front for the 5. So if I go ahead and just cut it right here at 10.5, and then they fold over half. You see what I'm saying? Like that's gonna go that way. So this side will be the longer piece that goes that way. Does that make sense? I think so. I'm talking to both of us. All of us. I'm talking to me too. Okay, so at 10.5. If I go 10.5, I already figured out that that was fine. I'm just gonna, okay, let's just do this and see what happens. And now I'm going to just put that over here for a sec. I'm going to move that stuff out of my way. So here we go. So what I want to do here is I know I want to keep this in the front, and I'm going to have to do the 5-inch thing. And I don't think this is going to matter where I go. So I'm going to take that as far as there, just lining it up with that. That's going to give me my first fold for the back of the bag. Okay. And if I really want to stay within that 5 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, that means I'm going to fold right here. So I'm just going to give myself a little pinch right there, and then I can see that from this side. I'm going to go get my overlap on so I can glue. And now I have that. So there we go. Getting there. Then what I did is I knew that the bottom had to come up a little bit. So I went ahead and just made that fold. And I just kind of started over here and, you know, just went as far as I wanted. Because my bag can be whatever size I really want it to be. But I'm just kind of learning, you know. So did you see how straight that was? Okay, there we go. All right, so now I have the folds down. Perfect. I'm going to be doing some cutting. I'm going to get my folds down though. And you know, when you're doing the back, you can decide where you want that overlap to be. So that's kind of cute. I know that I'm going to fold that part also because, like I said, I wanted that reinforcement. I like that. I think that's going to be nice. These sides aren't really going to matter because they're going to be cut off, but are they? I don't remember. We'll see. We're going to find out together because I can't remember. Whatever. Paper is not playing nice. If you have a scoring board thing, you can absolutely use that if that makes your life easier. I don't really know at this point if anything's going to make it easier for me because I'm just kind of kind of a nut job. Just kidding. Let me see. So I didn't glue this because I wanted to kind of keep it as a template. So that's the other thing too, is once you get one down, if you leave it open, you'll have a template to, which will make things a lot easier. So I know I did that and I did that. So what I did is I cut the inside line now. I'll just open this up so you can see. I'm going to cut the inside on both the flaps. I'm going to cut the inside all the way across. I'm going to go right above the folded line there. And then I'm going to cut in a slant, but I'm going to wait to do that slant. Because I do want that to match just in case. I think I do. I'm going to cut this side to the fold, like that. And then I'm just going to put these together. I mean, I guess I can cut those off, might make it easier. Just cutting it on that fold. Same thing. You know, and if you don't want that slanted look on the back, you don't have to do it. I like it, so I'm going to do it. And I want them to sort of match, because in case I do a floating bag, it would be nice to have it kind of together, but I'm gonna go like this. There we go. So now when I fold that in and I fold that up, I have that. Does that make sense? Okay. It makes sense to me. Now, that was the bottom. And so now to do that, I'm going to go right down the top here. And I'm going to go right on the line there, or just right on the inside of the line this way, just barely. Or I'm going to try to be on that crease, but I'm going to move over towards the inside of it, if anything. Does that make sense? There we go. Does that make sense? Now I'm going to take my paper. I'm just going to fold these flaps down, just keep them out of my way. I'm going to fold that in half without creasing. I just want these two pieces because I want these to also, wait, I think I did those backwards. Sorry. I'm going to fold this one down because that one's going to stay down. That's what it was. I'm so sorry. Back up. Back up. I'm going to fold this one in for reinforcement. That's all this is. Normally this would be cut off, but I want the reinforcement. So I did cut on the inside of that line because I just want, and I'm going to go over just a tiny bit slanted just to take out the bulk, because this part's going to be glued down. These are the parts that are going to be slanted, and they're going to be cut. This cut right here across. So what I did before to cut that across, and they don't match up lengthwise because of wherever the fold is in the back, you know, where they're matching up, where they do the overlap to have the bag closing. So I'm just going to put the tops together, and it's the inside ones that I want to have that slanted cut, so that when it comes around like that and like that, then you have that. Does that make sense? Okay, so back to this, fold that in, and I'm going to come back around without creasing this. I just want to put them together just to give me close as I can to the top. And I know it's going to be the insides that I want to be slanted, but they are off, so is that going to make a difference? Yes, they have to be together. Hello. Okay, so... Okay, are you with me? I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm learning with you. I'm teaching myself how to do this, and I'm just trying to follow this. So I'm going to bring this over without creasing this side. These are the two flaps that I want to have that jagged cut on the top, but the inside pieces I both want to be slanted. And if I want them to match as best as I can, I'm going to make sure that they line up so that these are corner to corner here. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to, is it cutting in or out? I better double check, huh? I can always look at this for my, I'm going to, I guess I should turn it the right way. So I'm going to cut towards the corner. I'm going to cut slanted towards the corner. Done. Can't take it back. So that now, when I fold this, is like that. So if you don't want the jagged edge, you would stop right there. If you want the jagged edge, which I'm going to do that because I actually like it without the jagged edge, but since we are copying a bag, well, this one, it's very slight, but some people like the jagged edge. So if you like the jagged edge, this is where you would do it here. And I'm just going to, again, fold it without creasing it. I'm going to take my scissors with the edging, try to hold these as close as I can. I guess this is where I would use the clips for my third hand, but I don't have those here. So I'm going to put this just like this. And just go across. Holy hand, I feel like I made that so much harder than it needed to be, but there we go. Voila, it's done. And I did it upside down. Because my lace was supposed to be on the top, but I kind of like it like that. So, my secret, you guys know my secret. This was supposed to be up here, like this. That's how I thought I wanted it, but I guess my, whoever's here with me creating, no, I'm just kidding, crafting, wanted it that way. So I have that one. Let's try another one. Let's see if I can do this a little bit easier. So I already cut this. No, I did not, but I want to measure it really quick. We have let's see. This is measuring 12 that way, and it measures 8.5 that way. So, oh, and I did want to see how much bigger this bag was. So it's a little bit taller. If I want to make it shorter, I sure can. So this one is going to be, we know it needs to be at least the 8 inches tall to give me some room to play. Room to make a mistake if I want. So I'm going to take that down. And then we only need it to be the 10 up this way, which is 5 in the front, 5 in the back. Oh, 10.5, because I need that overlap, 10.5. So I'm cutting it at 8 by 10.5. And then this one is going to go there. So now, since I don't have a design to match up, the only thing I needed to do with this was to see which way I wanted my stripes to go. So I'm going to go, so what I did last time is I just kind of measured it. I just kind of eyeballed it, but like 2.5 and 2.5 is 5. And then you have that that half-inch overlap. Does that make sense? So I'm not using my guides here, but if I was doing that, I would have measured this at 2.5. And then this one would have been over to here. But it is okay. I can do it just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I could just take this one here. If I want it to be 5, if I want it to be shorter, or not, not shorter, but if I wanted the width to be smaller, then I would just take it in a little bit more. Then I'm going to use my little grid here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. So, and I'm going to fold that in. I'm not even going to worry about it. Actually, I really don't care how big the bag is. I just want to get one made. So, because I'll use it no matter what. Oh, and let me just rip the paper because that's always fun. I'm also going to do a little bit up here. So, no pattern versus, I guess this is kind of a pattern, but it's not like the other one where I was trying to find a specific spot to be the middle of the bag on the front. There we go. So now I have all these creases nicely done here. I know that's going to all work. I'm going to open them up, and then I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to make this the bottom anyways because I ripped it right there. So I'm going to go above the line here, above the fold, and just cut over to the crease. And then I'm just going to cut that off. Make it easy on myself. Same thing on this side. I'm going to go right above it to the crease, and then I'm just going to cut that piece off. I'm going to fold that in half without creasing it. And I'm going to cut towards this little middle of that little triangle thing we made. There we go. And now I have my bottom. So when that goes over and that goes up like that. Okay. Then we're going to do this thing for the top as well. So this one is, we know, so we're going to cut on the inside. We want this flap to stay, and we're going to cut the inside in towards the inside, on the inside of that crease to the fold, to the top fold. Same thing on this side. We're going to go just like that. And then, so we know, let's see, we're going to go like that, and then, and that's going to go down. So then you take these two and you fold these over without creasing. Matching the two corners is matching this corner down here up with this corner here. And the tops should also match for best results, I suppose. And then you're just going to cut back towards that to make a triangle. See? And you cut towards the inner triangle there. And then you have this. Wasn't that much easier? Okay, so now let's glue this together and see how much better this is versus the other bag that we bought. It's a little bit more, I think it's gonna be a little bit more sturdy. Probably shouldn't have done that part first. I guess I thought that was the top. I don't need to cut too much off. I don't have to cut any more off of here because I cut inside that line enough to get rid of that bulk on the top. So I think I'm gonna do this first. Pardon me jumping around there. I think no matter how many times I do this, I'd probably just always have a variation every time because that's just, it's just what I do. You know, I just think it's more fun if it's confusing. And then I'm gonna match these up. So I wanna do these before I do that. That's what it was. So I'm gonna take my glue and I'm gonna go on this edge here first, or it doesn't matter which one. I wanna do this edge there, but I also wanna do this edge here. And what that's gonna do is gonna catch on both of the edges, inside the bag and then outside the bag, so that you're not getting caught up. And that's what the hopes are. The hopes are that we don't get caught up with our stuff, so when we're putting things inside the bag. And then you just, you know, give it a little push down with that glue, let it seal up, and then this one would go over. Hopefully it didn't all dry on me, because you know that art glitter glue, it dries so fast. So, and you can see right here I have a little secret, but with the bags this way and I do put it down, it's covered up, and if not, then I can always put lace or trim or something like that and I can cover my little secret up there. Not a big deal. If I don't like the seam, which they all have a seam, all bags do, they all have a seam. There we go, this one's more and more, this is more like, see? So, there you go. We made some bags, and now we can take all of our scrapbooking paper and cardstock, and depending on our tissue papers, whatever we want to do, how thick or thin we want these bags to be, or for whatever purpose we're using them for, and we can make our own bags. We don't have to go spend a fortune when we've already spent a fortune on other things. But also, you can use your office papers, anything you find at the thrift stores or that people gift to you that they no longer want, and we can make as many bags as we want. We can just bag it. So hopefully you like this. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have any tips and tricks if you've made bags that might help me out. If you think I could use a little help here. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, friends. Bye.